everybody, this is Tom with The Board Gamer. Today, we're going to do a quick overview and review for this game. If you want the full how-to, go ahead and click this icon up here or the link in the description. Now let's get into it. Tiny Epic Tactics is a 1 to 4 player game for ages 14 and up, with an average gameplay length of 30 to 60 minutes, published by Gamelyn Games. The basic overview of Tiny Epic Tactics competitive play has you compete with 4 units against other players' units to control areas of the board and capture enemy troops. By securing these locations over multiple rounds, you will earn the flag of the area, and the game ends when enough flags are captured or when one player has lost all their units. Tally up your points from the flags, captured enemies, and your surviving units, and the player with the most points wins. Tiny Epic Tactics reminds me of one of those turn-based battle games where your position is almost more important than your attack. This tiny war room-esque layout has you feeling like a general, relaying commands to your units onto the field. Unfortunately though, this is one of those times I wish this game wasn't so tiny. This may have been remedied with the expansions you can add, but I've yet to try them, so I cannot say for certain if that is the case. I spent most of the game standing to see all of the battlefield. We later remedied this in other playthroughs by placing it on a Lazy Susan so we could spin it around and see what we were doing from different angles. But is that enough for a tactical retreat from this game? Or is it just another element to strategize around? Let's lay out this battlefield and see what it holds. I want to start with the smallest components first. These tiny markers honestly look like candy. This is great for anyone old enough to know that they are not, but can be worrisome for some pets and young children. They are cute and functional, and provided you do not accidentally knock your unit cards with your hand or sleeve, I think clip-on sliders would be more functional, but they would lose the cute factor. Next, we have the flags and dice. These are nothing special. The custom 6-sided dice are a nice touch. The unit meeples look great. I like that you're able to easily identify each unit type from a distance, so there is less confusion on the battlefield. The unit cards have a fun, cartoony art style to them, and are pretty easy to read and understand. The individual abilities make each character unique, but do require you to pay attention if you plan to use any of them. The same thing goes for these tactic cards. And finally, we have the standout piece for this game, is the nesting boxes. They're a very unique and smart idea to do more with less. Although tough to see around at times, I think adding elevation not only looks great, it also adds to the strategic planning. And the cloth map is fine from a cost standpoint, but I think a game mat would have probably looked better and felt better too. Now, when discussing ease of play, I must warn you there is a lot going on. Not as much in competitive mode, but in solo mode there is a lot of moving parts. The general concept of the game is pretty easy to understand. Competitive mode is like King of the Hill, but where you can also capture your opponents. And on your turn, you only take 3 total actions across all your units. But if you want to be the best tactician, there is a lot of information to absorb. And depending upon the type of player you are, this can be a positive or a negative. I personally did not mind it as much as some of the people I played the game with. Basically, this is an average game in terms of learning how to play, but a heavier game to play it at its fullest. Tiny Epic Tactics is just what it is claiming to be, a tactical game. This game works best when you know what you are getting into. They did make the game a bit lighter with its size and overall vibe of the game, but if you have no desire to be a tactician, you will not like this game. However, if you are the tactical type, this game provides a nice compact play area. And if you're the only one who likes this type of game, it has a solo mode which is worth diving into. With different game types such as competitive, cooperative, and solo, you have many opportunities to replay this game. Not to mention the different expansion maps. But again, make sure this is the game for you. Otherwise, just because you can replay it, does not mean you will. I have said the word tactics and tactician many times so far. Hopefully you've gathered by now that this is a strategy game down to its core. There is no luck in this game. The only time luck really comes in is when you happen to have a tactics card that matches what you were planning on doing anyway, or when rolling the dice for any reason. This game rarely has a moment in where you can surprise anyone, unless it's a quick and sudden betrayal after ganging up on a different player. You don't need to be a stone cold strategist to play this game, but it certainly does help, because relying on luck will not. The theme for Tiny Epic Tactics is that of an open battlefield with a lighthearted tone painted over the top. The cartoon art, the candy-like markers, make you feel at ease when you look at them. But past the colorful characters, the play area is a tactical battleground. The theme can be confusing when comparing the look of the game to the gameplay. But luckily, this mostly goes unnoticed, especially in the era of smartphone games that are adding more adorable looking aspects to more games that usually have a more dark and hardened feel. This game makes me feel comfortable. Not blown away, but not hating it either. To conclude, if you're looking for a strong strategy game that you can play with others or by yourself, this is good to pick up and not lose hours to. But if you're more into casual or lighthearted games in the Tiny Epic line, you might want to pick up a different Tiny Epic game. This board gamer says, not boring, but not exciting either. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified about new videos. If you're bored now, click this for more games.